Hey everyone. Oh, I'm trying to move myself. Um, Hello. Today we are going to be working with pattern blocks to get a sense of how many pieces make up a whole. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to use this link right here. So this is an app that you may have. It's called the Pattern Block app. Um, you may need this, or you could you may be able to use some of the triangles here, or some of the shapes here on these slides. So this is one of those lessons where I'm going to walk you through some thinking about these shapes and the fractions that they make up, and then you're going to do some work at the back end. So there are a few slides at the bottom of this where it says student work. Those are the slides you're going to do, and there is not a student book page or a home connections page for you to do today. So I think hopefully this lesson will not take a huge amount of time, but it does require some thinking. All right, so the first example is this. So take a look at this. And the question is, did Oscar represent 1/2? So this is the whole, and this is what he says is the half. Are the three green triangles half of the hexagon? What do you think? I think if you moved these over, let's watch that here. We can remove this thing. You can see that if you move the three green triangles over to the hexagon, they land perfectly on half. So Oscar is correct. The three green triangles do represent half. Let's look at Fatima's example. Does Fatima's example show, is the blue rhombus half of the hexagon? She says the blue rhombus is half of the hexagon. Two of them will make a hexagon. Well, you can use that app and get two hexagons and put them together. Does it work? Let's watch. Oops. I don't know how that happened. Anyway, let's watch. So is the blue rhombus half of the yellow hexagon? No, because when you land it on top, it doesn't cover up all of this part. Leaves a yellow triangle. All right, let's go to the next slide. 1/2. If this is 1/2 of a shape, what could the whole shape look like? Can you find more than one solution? So if this is half, I want you to click on pattern, these shapes, and I'll click on it, but you won't be able to see it, I don't think. Let's see. I don't think you can. But you can see that you can pull out that yellow hexagon, so because that's your whole. Well, actually, no, it's not. So you can grab your red trapezoid. Half is how many pieces of the whole. You know by looking at the number in the bottom of the fraction that there should be two parts. So if you pull another hexagon out, you can spin it around. You click on it and there's a green line around it. You click on it and then you can push it up against the other red hexagon and you'll see that two of these together make, make 1/2. Let's see if I can do it here. There's one. So now we have two, but they're not really a whole shape yet, right? There's just two there. So what you do is you take the little air circle and you can spin it around. There we go. And you can do the same thing in your app. It's a little bit nicer in the app. So if this is half of a shape, what could the whole shape look like? Is there another shape that you could make? Sure. What about if you just drag it down and you make this shape? Is this a shape? Is one of these half? Yeah, yes, it's an irregular shape, but it's a shape and that shows half. I'm going to put these back so that, well, actually, I don't really care. All right, let's go down to the next one. So Ashley's example. What do you think about Ashley's? Oh my goodness, that's what we just did. So do you agree that her picture shows one whole? And you would say, I agree. Personally, I agree. I agree because there are two trapezoids that make one whole. And then I'm not going to fill out that disagree one because I don't disagree. I agree with Ashley. Let's look at this one. If this is a third of a shape, what could the whole shape look like? Again, you need to pull the blue rhombuses out. How many do you need? Well, if this is 1 out of 3, you need 2 out of 3, 3 out of 3. And you're going to smush them together, and you may need to rotate them. I'm going to spin this one and make it go like, I think, nope, let's see, like this. Oh, it's difficult, 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 lemon, difficult. I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to move it down, and then I'm going to move this one over. And now I'm almost there, and I think what I'll do is just leave it like that, push it over. It's not perfect yet. I gotta make it perfect. How about if I do that? Oh, they're so close to fitting together. What shape did I make? Pretty close. Did I make a hexagon? Let's see. Pretty close. Again. All right, if I had those lined up exactly, I would have made a hexagon. So this is how you play around with these blocks. Whenever you see the unit fraction like this, you know that you have 1 out of 3 if you're looking for the whole. Let's see. So Simon's shape makes him think of a bird flying. He says his 3 rhombuses make 1 whole. Does Simon's shape show 1 whole? Why or why not? He says, I knew that 1 blue rhombus was 1/3. I used 3 of them to make my picture. Is this 1 whole? Again, I agree because he used 3 rhombuses to make 1 shape. And it does not have to be a hexagon. It could be a shape like this, looks like a bird to him. That's fine. That's a whole shape. That is 1 whole. 1/6. You guys already figured out that 1/6 is a lot smaller than 1/2 and 1/3. What could the whole shape look like if this is 1/6? I'm going to leave this one blank for you to make a picture with. And here is Theo's example. How is this similar or different from your work? So you guys can play around with these. I'll clean up the slides before I send them off to you. All right. So here's what you need to do. This is what you have to do. What we were just looking at. You don't have to do it, but it's fun and I encourage it. This is what I'd like for you to do. Slide 12. If the hexagon is 1, you see a 1. The trapezoid is what part of the hexagon? That is going to be, you're going to write in this box a fraction. If this is 1, what is the trapezoid? And then you're going to explain your reasoning, just like I explained my reasoning up here, right? So you're going to use words to explain why you think that this is whatever part of a fraction that is. You're going to do the same thing with the rhombus the triangle, and then you're going to compare fractions. So first you're going to figure out how many triangles go inside of a hexagon, and then you're going to figure out how, let me think about how to say this, how to compare 1/3 to 2/6. In order to do that, you may want to get out your pattern blocks and drag them over. Drag 3 to make a hole, and then find the other shape. What's 6? So you figured out that the triangle makes 6 holes. This is a hole. This is a half. This is a fourth. This is a 6th. So you're going to go ahead and think through, is 3/6, 3 of these, bigger or greater than, equal to, or less than 2/6? Oh, yeah. Is 1/3 equal to 2/6? Then you're going to do the same thing with this one, this one, this one, and this one. So basically you're just comparing these pattern shapes. And I think the app is a little bit easier to use than, it's a lot easier to use actually than than doing it in the slide. So I really strongly recommend that you have your apps, your app out at the same time that you are doing this lesson, because you're going to want to go back and forth. It's really, really hard to manipulate these on the Google Slides. It's not very great. That is it. So what I am looking for from you at the end of today is these completed slides, slide 12 through 21. There are no pages in your book. You are doing these slides, okay? So these need to be done by the end of the day. And you should come into office hours if you have any questions, okay? All right.